Phil here in Layer by Layer Layer. For this video I have one goal set out for me by my kids.
Build us an army worthy of
Ash Ketchum.
Yeah!
Oh, and make it glow in the dark.
Good idea!
So stick around for a glow up that would leave Team Rocket shaking in their boots. On this channel, I'm learning about the world of 3D modeling, printing, and model painting one layer at a time. And I haven't quite gotten to the make my own model layer yet. So I needed a Pikachu model, which I found in the form of this adorable guy by Snap Print 3D Super Crazy Prints on MakerWorld. Link in the description. With the model secured, it was time to print, paint, and learn. And there were lots of learning opportunities along the way, especially with painting, because I have never done any model painting and haven't touched a paintbrush in years. But before we get to painting, we have to get to printing. First thing was to get some yellow glow-in-the-dark filament from BambuLab. And then I just have to print like crazy, and my gosh, it's going to take how long to print a full bed of these little yellow volt vermin? I did try to tempt them to print faster with some Om Nom Nom in the form of some ACD cheese. Here, Pika Pika Pika. Here, Pika Pika Pika. But to no avail. Not even that joke was cheesy enough to entice the little Electromice to print faster. So I printed a test Pikachu before committing to a full-scale Zaprat invasion. No one wants to deal with an army of defective thunder rodents. I printed the first one up at 0.2mm layer height using Arachnid. Arachne. Sounds like a perfume. Arachne. I was happy to have done the test because these settings led to some thunder thighs in the form of multiple chins. Honestly, it doesn't show up on camera very well, but I can see it, so that's all that matters. I then printed another test at 0.16mm layer height, which I was happy with. And with that, I kicked off 3 total prints over 2 days of printing for 1 basket of glowing hamsters. Yes, I know Pikachu is a mouse, rat, squirrel thing, but hamster was too tempting to me. Let me hear your disdain in the comments. They can't scar me like the painting process did. Like I said at the top, I haven't painted a model ever. I haven't actually really painted anything at all in years, so this is a whole new opportunity for learning through creative mistakes. On the first night, I sat down, set everything up, opened my black primer I thought I had bought, and...
Whoa. Gray.
I went ahead and started painting anyway until I got to the red glow-in-the-dark paint I bought, and...
It says red. But it's obviously just white?
So yeah, I thought I had bought black primer, and it was gray, which should have been pretty obvious based on the gray color of the liquid in the bottle, and it was more liquidy than I expected.
Was it supposed to be this liquidy?
I still don't know if it is supposed to be that way. Let me know in the comments if it looked right to you. And the red glow-in-the-dark paint I bought is transparent. So through the magic of buying something, I got black primer and red paint with which I produced these monstrosities with a layer of transparent glow-in-the-dark on top. Now I did try priming the mouth and cheeks black because I thought primer was needed. Note the tense here for subtle foreshadowing. And now this Electrodent looks like it has a bottomless pit for a stomach and it wants to eat your soul. Unfortunately, the red glow-in-the-dark paint is utterly overpowered by the yellow glow and doesn't really show up. So I went back to my signature technique of panic buying and bought some white primer and also ordered some actually red glow-in-the-dark paint, and it's pink! Why is it pink? It says red, but it is obviously pink. Anyway, it was pink. But then my sheer genius shone like the yellow of a glow-in-the-dark Pokemon figurine, which is to say faintly and fading. Why don't I just mix the transparent glow paint with my basic red paint? And while I'm at it, let's actually test things on a cube, which probably would have been a good idea right from the start. I printed a glow-in-the-dark cube and painted plain red by itself, the glow mixture, and the red on top of the now 3 different primers I had bought, along with the coating of the transparent glowing material on one half of the non-glowing mixtures, just to see if maybe it would work. Well, to cut an already too long story short, none of the options with primer made any difference other than looking worse in some cases, and the plain paint stuck without issue, and adding primer adds painting time. Is primer even needed? Is this going to bite me later when everything starts flaking off? I don't know, but I'll save any time I can when painting 50 plus minis. And none of the glowing options seem to make much difference other than maybe the mix a bit. I probably should have used the AMS and printed with red glow-in-the-dark filament, but I guess that's a lesson for the next time I print 50 glow-in-the-dark Pokemon. This has been a bit of an unexpected journey with some real twists and turns. But it is time to set out towards my Mount Doom and get to painting. I decided to use the mixed glow-in-the-dark paint because I have it, and it seems to make a bit of a difference, maybe. So I paint the cheeks, the ears, the blacks of the eyes, and the stripes. Wait for things to dry, do a second coat as needed, and dot the eyes. And then I paint the cheeks, the ears, the blacks of the eyes, and the stripes. Wait for things to dry, do a second coat as needed, and dot the eyes. It was at this point that I realized that it is going to take a very long time to finish this at approximately 1 Glowcumon every 20 minutes. Fortunately, I have a plan. A plan for a fellowship. Now this plan won't work for everyone. It takes 6 to 8 years of forethought. What I did is I used my first 3D printer to print up some assistants. These arms belong to Imogen and Imogena. Or maybe that one is Imogena and the other is Imogen? I don't know, they are so hard to tell apart. And the 3D printer even offered to help out. This was great news because she has painted things like this, and this, and this. And even the eldest print has already sculpted and painted her own Pika statue. And the youngest print is no slouch with a paintbrush either. Special note, this 3D printer joke is wife approved. So from here on out, just assume that any figures that don't look absolutely amazing were painted by someone else, not me. Despite all evidence to the contrary, like smudged mascara chew, bleeding arm chew, or smeared lipstick chew. With the extra help, the army mustered significantly faster. And there were also some new creative special forces that you may have noticed in the batch, such as a few Herobrine chew, Lloyd Ninjago chew, and Kai Ninjago chew. My kids really like Ninjago and Minecraft. With the army at full strength, we can now go to the reaction and glam shots. And as we marvel at the glow of the army, well, realizing they will be ineffective at night, and as I begin to wonder just what I'm going to do with such an army, we get to the stats. In total, it took 42 hours and 41 minutes of printing, approximately 900 grams of filament, and 13 hours and 27 minutes of painting. But I do think Team Rocket will be blasting off again when they face the combined might of my electric army. I mean my kids' electric army. Yo, before you go, let me know down below how many of the Lord of the Rings references that I, frankly, inexplicably sprinkled in you were able to catch. Did you catch them all? And if you enjoyed watching, please consider giving this video a like. And, oh, what's that? Oh, it's my next project. It's lurking in the distance, staring at me. A little too intensely, and it's kind of creepy. In fact, it's creeping towards me. Well, if you want to see what I'm up against next, subscribe and ring the bell before it gets too close. Oh, no! No!